What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. Many of you brothers have showed me this particular article, and I did not want to watch the video. I know that there's a video footage of this out, and it stems from a bodega. Now, a bodega is something like a corner store, from what I understand. It is really unique to the East Coast, I believe, like Philadelphia, New York City. And a young woman and a man who owned or worked at this bodega got into an argument. Now, this probably is in a lower income community, so arguments can occur from anything. But one of the things that are common is somebody stealing something or not having enough money to pay for something. That's typically what it is. Like, remember Menace Society, you had this chick saying, hurry up and buy. So stuff like that. But anyways, the young woman wanted to buy a bag of chips and didn't have enough money to buy the bag of chips. She had her child with her. Now, instead of going to either get the money to buy the bag of chips, she did what is so common. Let me go get my boyfriend or get my brother, right? And this is very common. Women will typically use this, and a lot of black men are attack dogs for their women, because this is one of the ways that they can prove that they can provide. Even though you can't provide to pay for a bag of chips, you can provide instant violence. This is what some brothers can do. Instant D, doggy style, in booty clapping sounds, and then violence. So of course she calls the dude, the brother comes in there. The brother is Austin Simon. Rest his soul. He didn't know what he's going to do. So he basically grabbed the guy after they got into an argument. He went around the counter, attacked the store worker. Now, the store worker is 51 years old. Okay. So he's probably thinking that Mr. Jose Alba is just going to just sit there and get his ass whooped. Well, until Jose Alba took out a knife and put it into his chest. Once they got him to Harlem Hospital, he's dead. Okay. They arrested this guy. I'll leave it up to you if you feel that he's guilty or not. In my opinion, I don't think so. From what I've read, he's well within his right. But for Mr. Simon, I feel terrible for his situation because a woman got him killed over a bag of chips. To the point that if any of us knew him or her, if I was there at the store that day, I'd be like, look, here's the money for the chips. It's cool. Like, just let them go. Go get you like 5 or 6 bags. It's not worth it. But see, this is when you're not an idiot, okay? This is like when you're not working, when you're not dealing with the lower class of what you're dealing with in certain parts of America. This makes sense. But for some people, it doesn't make sense. So if your woman cared about you, she would not put you in a bad situation. This is what Mr. David Carey used to always say. Quasi 100, shout out to him. If a woman loves you, she won't let you make a fool out of yourself. But when you have a woman who doesn't care about you, she will use you for violence. And then the only person that loses is you. Then now that you're dead, all she gonna do is go to the next guy. And see, this is what black men gotta understand. We need to understand how to mediate. Don't start arguing with some man because she told you. I've learned that myself. Okay, so what's going on here? All right, you what's going on here? You go in the car. You tell your woman to go in the car. Because I'm telling you what he's trying to do. He's trying to play Captain Saver for her. You go in the car, let me talk to him. What's going on here? What happened? You'll get her side inside. Well, she's arguing me about these chips. She'll want to pay these chips and all that stuff. How much are the goddamn chips? Chips are this. All right. You live for another day. But of course, when you're trying to show off in front of a woman to get some cool points, you get eliminated. And it's so many black men out there right now in prison, right now in jail, right now doing all sorts of things without their lives, without their futures, bleak, on trial, all for emotional decision trying to make somebody happy. And the reality is that this person ain't even worth it. Ain't even worth it. So many black men lose a lot of potential, a lot of future over nothing. Dudes, brothers get either kill people or get killed because their sister went out and started something with somebody else. A lot of these gang wars that start happened over women. When men, if they were actually in their strong points, could just talk it out. Now, if there's violence that needs to be had, of course, there's situations where sometimes somebody need to get their ass whooped. I understand, okay? Or you have to fight it out or whatever. It may come to that sometimes. It comes to that in wars. Sometimes you have no choice but to fight. But usually it's not necessary. Usually things can be resolved. And usually when you can get men outside of, some spectators in the crowd or women in the crowd, you get those guys behind closed doors, you can solve a lot of problems in the black community, in any community. But when you're out there, having somebody using you as a goddamn attack dog, yeah, good luck on that. So you have this young brother who was 35. That's a young man. He's a young man. Okay? He's a young man. A lot to live for. He's gone. Over what? Some Lay's? Some Fritos? Some Cheetos? And number one, boo, how come you don't have enough money to buy a bag of chips? Like, shouldn't that tell you something that you're kind of dusty? You don't even have enough money to buy a bag of chips. You don't have enough money for that for yourself. That is embarrassing. How dumb and dusty can you be? You can't even get a bag of chips. I would be ashamed of myself. You'll be the last person to be able to talk about any goddamn thing. Just shut up. You don't even have a bag of chips. You are the guy. Imagine your woman can't buy a bag of chips because you ain't got enough cash. How dusty can y'all be? Extremely broke. And now this guy who defended himself has to go to jail. It's amazing. All I gotta say is thank God I don't live in the ghetto anymore. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe to the bell. Check out the first comment at the top. And as you know, the buffoonery remains an all-time high. I'm out.